Hello everybody, my name is Melody Sketch, and today we are continuing our reading of Shadow's Son, and this is chapter 9. I'm going to read... Dang it. We are going to read until chapter 13, 12 or 13. Okay, so chapter 9, a couple hours later. Shadow's eyes snapped open to the sound of distressed crying. He walked over to the crib and saw Sonic. He was curled up in a defensive ball and had his eyes closed. He must be having a nightmare again, Shadow thought. He picked up Sonic and started to rock him back and forth. Sonic calmed down after a couple of minutes, and Shadow placed him back in the crib. He heard his communicator go off and went to answer it. "Yes," he said. "Hey, hun," Rouge said on the other line. "What is it, Rouge?" Shadow said, annoyed. "Grumpy, aren't we, Shadzy? Anyway, the commander needs you to test out the new robot models for him, and needs you to come to headquarters pronto," she said. Shadow sighed, annoyed, and asked, Where does he expect me to keep Sonic?" "Sonic? Who's Sonic?" Rouge asked, confused. Shadow never told Rouge about Sonic, or his divorce with Amy. Shadow sighed and said, "He's my adopted son, and..." "Oh my gosh, you have a son, Shadow?" She interrupted excitedly. "I'm coming over right now to take care of the little guy. You still live in Amy's house, right?" No. Me and her divorced about 2 weeks ago," Shadow said. Rouge gasped. "Oh, Shadow, I'm so sorry. I didn't know." "I'm fine. So you'll take care of him for me?" Shadow asked. "Of course I will, sugar. Just give me the address of your new place, and I'll be there in 5 minutes, she said. Shadow gave her his address and hung up. He went over to Sonic's crib and saw that he was already awake, and on his hands and knees trying to stand up. He looked up and saw Shadow. He reached out at the crib. "Abba! Abba!" Shadow chuckled and took him out of the crib. He heard a knock at the door and went to answer it. "Hey, Rouge, Oh, he's so adorable!" Rouge interrupted, taking Sonic out of Shadow's arms and tickling his peach tummy. Sonic started to giggle and laugh, using his little peach arms to try to get Rouge's hands away from him. When Rouge stopped, she said, "Oh, Shadow, he's so cute. He would have been your little clone if it weren't for those emerald eyes and his beautiful fur, not to mention his cuteness." "Rouge," Shadow said, interrupting her. "If you don't mind, I would like to get to the commander before he explodes on me like last time. If you want any food, it's in the kitchen. The bathroom's upstairs, and all of Sonic's supplies are upstairs. First door on your right. Any questions?" he said. "Nope, I think I'm good. Have fun with the commander." Rouge laughed when she saw Shadow glare at her. After Shadow left, Rouge sat on the couch. Rouge sat on the couch with Sonic in her lap and turned on the TV. After a couple of minutes, she started to smell something funny and looked down at Sonic. Sonic looked up and smiled and clapped his hands while laughing. Rouge groaned and took him upstairs to get his diaper changed and possibly burn her. Oh my god. And possibly burn her gloves after? Oh my god, that's way too over-exaggerated. And possibly burn her gloves after she's done. That's way too over-exaggerated. Shadow walked into Gun with his usual scowl. With his usual scowl on his face. He went to the commander's office and knocked on the door. The commander told him to come in, and Shadow walked into the office. "You wanted to see me, Commander?" he said as he stood in front of said person. Yes, Shadow, and I see you haven't brought your child with you, the commander said, almost disappointed. Shadow's eyes narrowed at that. Why does my child have to... what does my child have to do with any of this? He said, suspicious. Oh God, I need water. But I can last. Okay, nothing. Now about those robots, the commander said, quickly changing the subject. Yes, Shadow said, not forgetting that little slip-up. Go down to the B wing, and scientists down there will be waiting for you, he said. Yes, Commander, Shadow said. You are dismissed, the man said. Shadow walked off to the office and headed toward the B wing. It was almost as if he was disappointed that I didn't bring Sonic. I'll have to keep an eye on him, Shadow thought, as he walked down the hallway. Oh, jeez. Jeez, I just burped, but you guys didn't hear it, because I will edit it out, and I just did. I just edited that burp out. I am being very weird and stupid right now. But, like I was saying, or reading, whatever, Shadow thought as he walked down the hallway, unaware of the pair of bi-colored eyes of the commander watching him. That was so close. He was getting suspicious. I better keep an eye on him, the commander thought, and with that, he went back inside his office and closed the door. By the way, guys, I changed my mind on how many chapters I'm going to do per episode, because these chapters are a bit long, so I'm going to do about 2 or 3 chapters each episode. So today and tomorrow I'm going to be posting episodes of... Okay, so chapter 10. When Shadow got down to the B wing... the scientists were already waiting for him. A blonde-haired human walked up to him and said, "You may enter the arena through the door to your right. You can give us the signal when you're ready." Shadow just and walked into the small arena. He gave them the signal, and they let out the new robots. Oh jeez, starting to run out of breath. I'm being so weird and stupid right now. This channel is just for fun and for being weird and stupid. That's why I'm being weird and stupid right now. Because I feel like being silly today. Okay, where was I? I was so retarded. Okay, two of them were the silver color. About twice the size of a regular human. And the other 4 were chrome colored, and about the same size. All 6 of them had the GUN logo on their chest plate. Shadow smirked as they all pointed their arm guns at him. He jumped in the air, brought out chaos spears, and threw it to the 2 silver bots. Immediately, they short-circuited and exploded, leaving only the 4 chromed robots. Shadow used his homing attack on 2 of them and spin dashed the other 2. After he was done, there was nothing left but heaps of scrap metal. Shadow smirked and walked out of the arena. The scientist gave him the okay, and he headed to the commander's office. When he got there, he saw the commander looking at something under his desk. Shadow cleared his throat, and the commander looked up surprised, quickly hiding the item. Shadow looked at him suspiciously. The commander stood up and said, "Have you done what I've asked, Project?" Just call him Shadow. Shadow's eyes... dang it. Stupid charger. Okay, now where were we? Oh yeah. Shadow's eyes narrowed at the name, but answered anyway. Yes, you are dismissed, the commander said simply. Shadow Chaos controlled out of the building. The commander smirked and brought out the device he was looking at before. It showed Sonic's power levels that were at 20% and continued to increase. Looks like you'll be getting your powers sooner than we thought, the commander thought, smirking evilly as he walked toward the science lab. Okay. When Rouge came downstairs after changing Sonic and bleaching her gloves, oh my god, that's way too over exaggerated. It's just one dirty diaper. Or diapers, whatever. They're just diapers. Okay. She took him to the kitchen to get something to eat. She put him in the high chair and turns to the fridge to get the baby food. When she turns back to Sonic, she gasps. Sonic was gone. She starts looking around the high chair to see if the baby fell out. But then she hears giggling. She hears it coming from below. So she looks under the table and sees Sonic holding Shadow's favorite red Chaos Emerald and giggling and laughing. She looks surprised and confused at the same time. How did you get that emerald? She said. Sonic just stared, talking incoherent. Sonic just stared, talking incoherent babbles. Abba, he giggled. Rouge sighed and then smiled. This baby was just too cute for his own good. She went under the table and tried to grab him, only for him to disappear and reappear again on top of the table. Rouge's eyes widen and she crawls out from under the table. She dusts herself off and stares wide-eyed at Sonic. He can chaos control? She thought, just like Shadow can. She chuckled. It looks like Shadow has more in common with Sonic than he. Why does it say she when it should say he? Okay. It looks like Shadow has more in common with Sonic than he thought. Sonic was just clapping his hands and laughing. Rouge picked him up and took the Chaos Emerald away so that he wouldn't disappear again. As soon as the emerald left Sonic's chubby little hand, he started to cry. Rouge sighed and started to rock him back and forth. Shh. It's okay. It's alright. Rouge comforted, which only made Sonic cry louder. Rouge sighed and put him in the high chair. She put the Chaos Emerald on the table and got the pear-flavored baby food. She turned to Sonic, who was still crying, and tries to put a spoonful in his mouth. Sonic turned his head away, an angry look on his face. Rouge tries to do the little airplane trick. Here comes the plane. Sonic gets distracted by looking at the spoon, and Rouge takes the chance to fill his mouth with baby food. Sonic, noticing that he was tricked, tries to spit out the food. Gets all over Rouge's face, and she lets out an angry sigh. She gets up and goes upstairs to the bathroom to get cleaned, forgetting that she wasn't supposed to leave a 3-month-old baby alone. Sonic stared at Chaos Emerald intently, thinking that by concentrating on it, it would bring. No, wait, what? Intently thinking that by concentrating on it would bring him closer to the emerald. What? I think that's a typo. No sooner than 5 seconds later, when the emerald acquired a light bluish aura, it started to float towards Sonic and landed in his hands. He giggled and held the emerald close to his chest and disappeared without a trace. Whew, I'm already tired. Hold on, how long is this chapter? If it's not too long, I'll read it. It doesn't look too long, but I'm not taking my chances. I'm already out of breath. So that's all for now, guys. I will see you on the next video or episode, whatever, of Shadow's Son. I will see everybody later. Goodbye. I love you all. Comment, like, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. I'll see you on the next video or episode, whatever. I love you all. Goodbye.